What is up guys, Bubbleswar here and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to put on a water decal. To do this, you're just going to need a couple things. First, you're going to need a nicely painted miniature. I've got a black legionary here. This is one of my, it's not completely painted. As you can see, his gun is not painted, but he is ready for the decal. So to put on the decal, what you need is micro sole, micro set. You can get this from Amazon for about 10 bucks. And I use matte medium. I put this on at the very end to take away the gloss varnish. You're gonna need a X-Acto knife and a brush that you don't really care about. I'm just gonna use one of my cheap brushes. I'll use this blue one here. The first thing you're gonna have to do is you're just gonna take the X-Acto knife, use a cutting board. I have a cutting board here. All you have to do is you just take the X-Acto knife, you're just gonna cut out the decal like so. There we go. Once the decal is cut out, the next step is to wet the decal. You can put it in your hand like this, or you can use tweezers. I'm just going to hold it in my hand. Let's see if I can do this. Yep. So I'm just gonna take the water, put this on top of the decal, like so. You want this to soak all the way through the decal, and you'll see that the water is soaking into the decal here. As you can see, it's getting darker, then it goes and it'll eventually just completely soak in. Once it is completely wet, take some water and put it on the shoulder of the piece that you want to put the decal on. I'm going to take off some of the water. As you can see, I'm using my brush as a tool here. And the reason why you want to wet this section is so when you slide the decal on, it doesn't immediately get stuck. So I'm going to position the camera here a little bit back so you can kind of see better. And then I'm going to, and all you have to do is I use a X-Acto knife and I poke it like this, and I poke it onto the model. You just want to be very gentle and very patient. Once it's there, you slide it off. Now from here, you just use your X-Acto knife and position the decal where you want it to be. As you can see, I have it pretty much centered. I just want to make sure that is good. Just take a minute. Once it is in the right spot, the next step is to take some paper towel. So I'm going to take just a piece of paper towel. I'm going to soak it a little bit and then squeeze out the water to get a damp ball like this. Then all I'm going to do is push this very lightly onto the decal. As you can see, that kind of pushes it onto the armor. The next step is we're going to use our micro set. Now this micro set, it literally smells like vinegar. I think it is vinegar, but so you could probably use vinegar, but I would just get the stuff so you don't mess up your mini. But all you have to do, you just wet your brush and you just tap it onto the decal. And you just let that sit. You don't have to wait that long, maybe like a couple minutes. While that's drying, I'm gonna close up my bottle. You know, water decals can make your miniatures look so good. I mean, if you look at this guy, it really just took it up a notch. I've got other Black Legion miniatures, like this guy here. He's got a nice looking water decal. I've got, this guy is an icon bearer. He looks really cool. These are kind of like my unfinished modules. They're like my pet projects. I paint Black Legion when I want a change from Death Guard. As you can see, most of my models are Death Guard miniatures because I really love Death Guard. This was the first Death Guard I've ever painted. These guys look so cool. I love the demon face on his shoulder. Look at that, epic. I even got this guy here. He's got, let's see. Yeah, he's got like a plasma. I tried to do an OSL effect with this guy. Anyways, that should be completely dry. So once you dry it, you're just gonna take that damp paper towel and you're gonna do the same thing where you're just gonna poke it like that. And you're just gonna squeeze it on. There you go. And now the next step, you're gonna take your micro sole. This is gonna give it a painted on effect. And then you're gonna take that same brush, rinse it off into clean water. Just get some micro sole on your brush, not too much. And then you're going to, all you gotta do is just dab this onto the mini. And this micro sole smells a lot better than the other stuff. I don't really know what it is, but, and then just leave that on for a little bit. I've seen some instructional videos online saying that you should put micro set on the water decal and the shoulder pad before you place and position the water decal on the miniature. I've always found that if you do this, the water decal can become very flimsy and almost like dissolve into itself or fold over on itself, so it can make it a little bit difficult. I've ruined a couple water decals this way, but if you follow the instructions in this video, you'll be okay. Once it dries, you're just gonna take this and you're just gonna pop it on the model like so. I'm not pushing too hard. And then there you go. That's pretty much it. You can see it's a little bit shiny, but it really does look painted on. The last step is you just take some Liquitex matte medium. I don't really have anywhere to put this. I'm just gonna pop it right there. You take your same brush. Just gonna mix that around and then put that onto the area where the decal is. And then you just let that dry. Yeah, this guy looks awesome. I love these Black Legion guys. All right, and that is how you put on a water decal. After the water decal dries, it should look like this photo. And as you can see, it looks painted on. That's because we used micro set and micro sole. If you only use micro set and micro sole, your water decal might look a little shiny. So to make it blend in with the paint job, we just used a little bit of matte varnish at the end. If you like the video and you want to see more content, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.